So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down 10 side hustle ideas that any student can start right now. Side hustles throughout medical school allowed me to fund my entire degree as a graduate student, and even up until now as a doctor. With my side hustles, I'm able to increase my income, so I'm able to save and invest in my future. What is going on, guys? My name is Kenji, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully it's not the first time you're watching one of my videos, but just in case it is, I'm a doctor working in London. And the first thing to note is that making money is a skill, and it's something that requires you to provide value for someone in order for that person to exchange the money they have for the value that you want to provide. And passive income is largely a myth. There is no such thing as truly passive income. With no matter what you do in life, whether you're a business owner or a landlord, it does involve and it will involve some work on your side, at least to get the ball rolling and to continue it rolling on its course. And so why am I making this video? The main reason I'm making this video is, honestly speaking, this YouTube channel and all the side hustles that revolve around it has absolutely changed my life in every way, shape or form, but especially in my financial life, it's made a huge difference. And right now we are currently in a big financial crisis. So there's a cost of living crisis. I'm sure you guys have watched the news. Making more money and making money with these side hustles may not necessarily solve all of your problems, but it may help you solve some of your money problems. And that is super crucial. And earning a bit of money on the side of your job can definitely unlock a level of freedom that you might not necessarily have now. In my experience in particular, it helped me fund my way through medical school, like I told you, and also it will be helping me fund my gap year in medicine, which I plan to take in 4 months' time, to take time away from working as a doctor and also to work more on these side hustles, on this YouTube career. And that is a level of freedom that is personally unlocked for me. So what I'll be doing in this video is taking you guys through some personal examples that I've used in my own life to unlock that level of freedom, as well as from experiences from the people that I know and the people that I've read about. And the idea really here is not to copy exactly what we did word for word. It's really to give you guys an idea of the sort of side hustles you can do, the sort of skills you need to work with and learn, and then you can apply it to your own context in order to increase your income. So let's go ahead and talk about the first side hustle idea, which is tutoring. If you're watching this video right now, you either know something you can teach, or you can learn how to do it yourself and then teach it to other people. Tutoring is something that brought me a huge amount of money when I was in school. When I was in university, there's always people below your level in terms of your academics that you can teach. So for example, if you're in university, like I was, you can teach people in the lower years in your university, or you can teach people in high school or in primary school. No matter what level you're at, there's definitely someone who's learning the skill that you want to learn or that you already know, that you could then find and teach and provide value to that person. Throughout medical school, I actually taught people in a wide range of capacities. So I taught people in medical school in the years below me. I taught them first year, second year stuff when I was a third year. As well as that, I also taught people online how to actually get into medical school. So I have online medicine interview courses, and I also led one-to-one tutoring workshops where I actually help these people and train them for the medicine interviews. I was charging anywhere from 20 up until 45 pounds per hour, and I was doing like 10 hours a week. And honestly speaking, during medical school, I was probably earning more from doing all this tutoring work than I am right now as a full-time doctor, which is absolutely crazy. So tutoring is definitely a lucrative option, and the way to find students is either like I did, so running your own sort of marketing thing on Instagram, TikTok or YouTube, just like I did. Or if you're not someone who is on social media or wants to be on social media, there are a ton of websites that help you actually link you to certain students. I'll leave some down below. I know loads of people who use these websites to actually find students to teach, or you can go onto Gumtree yourself on Facebook Marketplace, but basically find a way to market yourself either through your own method of finding students or through these sort of agency companies that can help you find these students. What I'm going to do is rate this a 4 out of 5 in terms of how easy it is to get started. You don't necessarily need to put much work into becoming a tutor. Again, you just have to know a skill, then you have to just teach it. It's that simple. But in order to make money from it, you have to find that student who's actually willing to learn from you. And that's why I give it a 4 out of 5 rather than a 5 out of 5, because there's a little bit of effort involved into actually finding your first student. In terms of the potential earnings or how much you can actually earn from this, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. As I said, it's very lucrative. You can find someone on the other side of the world in Australia who wants to know how to get into medical school, or who is studying for their exams in maths in college, and you can help that student and charge whatever you want. So it's quite lucrative. 4 out of 5 in terms of how much money you can actually earn. So as someone who only works with companies that he truly values and believes in, today I want to tell you guys about MagicMind, who are kindly sponsoring the video. And if you've been watching my videos for some time now, you know that MagicMind is a huge supporter of the channel, and I absolutely love their products. So as a doctor, I work long hours, and I often find it very difficult to maintain my alertness and my focus without having multiple cups of coffee a day, sometimes 3 or 4 coffees, which isn't great for you. And this often makes me feel quite anxious and also get the jitters that I normally get get after drinking coffee. And that's when I started to incorporate MagicMind into my daily morning routine alongside my coffee that I drink every morning. MagicMind has a unique blend of caffeine as well as a bunch of other nootropics that have really been a game changer for me. Throughout my long days as a doctor, it gives me sustained energy, heightened focus, and also reduces the stress that I encounter on a daily basis. The other nootropic agents that are actually found in MagicMind not only enhance the effects of caffeine, but they also deal with stress reduction and also induce relaxation. Because how caffeine actually works on a daily basis is that it binds to the ADP receptors in your body and thereby blocking it. However, when these ADP receptors then become unbinded by caffeine, you then get that associated caffeine crash unless you have your next caffeine boost or hit through having your next cup of coffee. But the way L-theanine works, which is a nootropic agent in caffeine, is that it actually stops caffeine from completely binding to the ADP receptors and thereby resolving the caffeine crash that you often feel after drinking coffee. If you're someone like me who's looking to enhance your attention and focus as well as reduce your stress, then I highly recommend you check out MagicMind. You can use my code on the screen or the link down below in the description to get yourself 20% off the full price. And as well as that, they also have a money back guarantee. So if you're not happy with the product, it doesn't help you feel better, then you can get a full refund on what you bought, no questions asked. That's MagicMind. Let's go ahead and get back to the video. The next side hustle idea is a YouTube channel. And of course, I'm biased. I obviously have this YouTube channel myself, but honestly speaking, YouTube has completely changed my life in every way, shape, and form. YouTube is one of those things that it's very hard at the beginning to get the ball rolling, but once you actually gain traction, once you get viewers, once you get people that seek value in your content, then the earning potential is pretty much infinite. I started this YouTube channel all the way back in my first year of medical school. For the first, I'd say 2 years, probably a year and a half, 2 years, I earned no money at all. From, let's say, years 2 to years 3, I then started earning a few £100s a month. And then from about year 3 and year 4 onwards, I was making a few £1,000s a month. And then towards the end of my 4th year and start of my 5th year of medical school, I was actually making more on this YouTube channel than I am right now as a full-time doctor. But the difficult thing is when you start off with YouTube, it's very difficult to stay motivated for 1 to 2 years of earning no money at all to then start earning a few £100s a month. It is not one of those things that you can immediately get started and immediately start making money. You have to put a lot of time, a lot of effort into it. And if you go into it with the mindset of I want to make money, it might be quite difficult to keep going. But if you're a student who's watching this, you probably have a bunch of time. You can learn how to edit YouTube videos on YouTube. Like that's literally how I learned how to make YouTube videos. I used my old MacBook Air. I learned how to use iMovie at the time. I then learned how to actually film videos, edit these videos, and later down the line, I eventually started earning money from it. This is something that can be really fun. I really enjoy making YouTube videos. It's amazing to have this influence and share with people all around the world, and eventually it can make you money. And if you do it for 2 to 3 years and it actually doesn't end up getting traction and any money, then what was the loss there? You've learned numerous skills. You've learned how to edit YouTube videos. You've learned how to film YouTube videos. You've probably learned a bit of marketing. There is a ton of skills that you can learn on YouTube that you can then apply to other areas to earn money later down the line. You probably will make friends online with YouTube. You'll have fun along the way. So what do you really have to lose when starting a YouTube channel? Now, in terms of rating this, I'll probably rate this a 1 out of 5 in terms of how easy it is to get started. Again, like I said, you'll be putting in a year and a half or at least a year before you can earn any money whatsoever, probably. But in terms of the potential earning capacity, I'll give this a 5 out of 5. The reason being is that when you actually gain traction, you start earning money. There is no, ceiling. There's no roof to how much you can actually earn. So YouTube is definitely something I highly recommend if you have time and you want to actually grow and invest in making money. Now, the next side hustle idea I have for you guys is working as a personal assistant. And this honestly is a fantastic idea. Another great way to earn money. And I know a lot of people who have actually done this. So one of the YouTubers I know, Elizabeth Phillips, you guys have probably heard or know of her. She actually started off by working as a PA for Ali Abdaal. I think she was earning about £100 a day working for Ali. And then she went on to producing YouTube videos, and I'm sure she learned a bunch being Ali's PA. And it really can help you. It definitely helped her from what I've watched in terms of living in London and paying for the living costs of being in medical school in London. And to give you another example, my own PA that I've had for over a year and a half, she actually graduated from a completely different degree. I think she did journaling. She did that for 3 years and immediately graduated and applied for working with me as a PA. And she got the job fairly quickly with very little skills. Obviously, she had a qualification, which definitely helped. But I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've probably gone to college. You've probably done your A-levels and GCSEs. If you have time, being a PA is a fantastic route to go down. And it's a great job because one, it can be fully remote, and it often is fully remote. You don't need to learn many new skills in order to do this job. You have to be someone who's organized, who's good with time management, who's good at working hard, of course. You need little to no experience, like I said, and all you need is a laptop. You need need time and you need a brain pretty much. And if you have those things, which I guarantee you have right now, you can get a job as a PA. And the way to actually get a job as a PA is really one of two strategies. The first strategy is you can personally approach people yourself. So if you know a YouTuber, using me as an example, if you knew that I was looking for a PA, or even if you don't know if they're looking for a PA, you can email them, approach them and say, hey, I want to work as a PA. I would love to work for you for free, completely for free for 1 week. And if you like me, then I'd be more than happy to actually discuss a full-time role later down the line with you. Or if you don't want to, you can also go on to Upwork or Fiverr or all of these other websites that work as agencies. I personally found my PA from one of these websites. And in terms of how easy it is to get started, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Again, because I said you don't necessarily need to put much effort into it in order to learn new skills and stuff like that. And in terms of your potential earning capacity, I'm going to give that a good 4.5 out of 5, because again, as long as you have time and if you find the right person, you can actually earn quite a bit of money from this. The next side hustle idea that I have for you guys is to work as a thumbnail editor. And again, this is another fantastic idea that you can definitely start right now. If you're someone who enjoys art, graphics, or visual aesthetics, then this can definitely be something you can do. There are many YouTubers out there currently with the world we live with who are really good at this skill. And even me right now, I'm someone who's actually looking for a thumbnail editor myself. And the beauty is, once you learn this skill of how to edit thumbnails, you can apply it to so many different areas in graphic design. You can work for another company, you can create advertisements, you can work as a photo editor. The same skills can be applied to many, many different fields. If you actually go onto Upwork, and I know this because I've done it myself when I'm looking for a thumbnail editor, and there are people who charge anywhere from $10 to $200 per month for a good thumbnail. If you look onto Mr. Beast's channel, he has amazing thumbnails which are truly artistic, and I guarantee that his thumbnail editors are being paid thousands of pounds per month for the thumbnails that he produces. So how would I personally approach this? And I know this because this is a skill I also had to learn myself from my own YouTube channel. I would start by learning the basics of Adobe Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop, and these days you don't even have to go that deep into learning all of these various programs, because you can do a lot of these stuff onto programs like Adobe Express now, which use AI to do all of these fancy things for you. But I definitely would recommend checking out these programs, Lightroom, Photoshop, and Adobe Express, to learn the basics of photo editing. And then when you get good, I would then do the same approach as working as a PA. I would email a bunch of YouTubers, say that you really like their content, you like their work, you would love to work for them for free for a week, or even better, you can go onto their YouTube channel, scroll down to their videos 2 or 3 years ago when they had crappy thumbnails like I did. You can then create thumbnails for them and say, hey, I've sent you over 5 different thumbnails that I've designed by myself. If you really like them, I'd love to talk about a potential job opportunity. That's how I would approach it. But also, if you don't want to, you can go directly again onto Fiverr or Upwork and look for these opportunities yourself. In terms of ratings for how easy it is to get started, I would say it's a solid 3 out of 5. Of course, you have to learn these skills, which you can literally learn in your free time, so it's not that difficult. And in terms of earning potential, I'll give this a 5 out of 5. You can definitely earn a good amount of money by working as a thumbnail editor. The next side hustle I have for you guys is working as a copywriter. So I'm sure you guys have probably heard about this right now. It is super popular in terms of earning money as a side hustle. And essentially what copywriting is it's trying to use your words and using your English language or whatever language you speak to convince people to make a sale. So for example, over on my website, I have an online course, if you guys have never heard of it, of teaching people how to write essays. And when I first designed that course, I did it myself. I did all the filming and editing myself. And then I needed someone to build me a website and then write something to convince people to make a sale. So if you go onto my website, you'll see that you have to use particular terminology, particular words, and use persuasive language to convince someone to make that sale. And this is a great way to start to earn money. You only need to be good at English, be good at persuasive writing. You don't necessarily need to have any particular qualification, but it may be good to have, some qualifications in English or whatever specialty you're in. And there are many companies these days who produce online products, who have websites, who have services that need selling. And again, using me as a perfect example. Now, I would approach this in the exact same way as before, but to be honest, with this sort of stuff with copywriting, I probably would go more towards Upwork and Fiverr, because not many personal people like me or influencers out there necessarily have courses that they immediately want to sell. Now, in terms of how easy it is to get started, I'll rate this a 3 out of 5, because you do have to learn how to actually use persuasive language to actually convince people to make a sale. You do have to also also built up a portfolio of doing this. In terms of potential earning capacity, again, I'll give this a 5 out of 5. There are people I know on the internet who are making thousands of dollars per month from copywriting, so it's definitely something to look into. Now, the next side hustle I have is a bit different from the last ones, and it's actually dog sitting and dog walking. Now, just hold on for a second here. This is a really interesting one. I personally have a couple of friends that make up to £2,000 per month simply by looking after dogs overnight during the day and also taking them on dog walks. And dog walking is super popular. In my area alone, I know 15-20 people who have dogs who give this particular person the responsibility of walking their dogs, and they're honestly making hundreds of pounds per month. If you're someone who likes dogs, you go for walks very often, and you don't mind having a dog stay at your house once in a while, then this might be a really good area that you can look into. I have a dog myself, and every 2 to 3 months I travel and need someone to actually look after my dog, and I leave it with someone on a pretty regular basis, and they charge up to like £45 per day to look after my dog through the day and through the night as well. And they also charge up to £15 per hour to actually walk my dog. So you can easily walk 6 dogs per day and make over £100 per day from doing this. There are websites out there that I'll link down below where you can actually find people who need this service. And once you find a number of people who know you really, really well, who can give you recommendations to other people, you can honestly earn a good amount of money on the side from this. I promise you, I'm not making this up. I have a bunch of friends who do this and make a lot of money. So in terms of how easy this is to get started, I'll give this a 4 out of 5. Again, not many skills are needed or involved in this. You just have to know how to pick up like dog poo and look after dogs pretty much. You do have to put yourself out there, sign up these websites like I mentioned, go onto Facebook Marketplace, or find your own way of marketing it if you're not happy to use these websites down below. But the potential earning, I'll give this a 3 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5, to be honest with you, because once you find a good bunch of people who know you well and you can have a good name for yourself in your area, you can earn a bunch of money, and this is a really, really good way to make money on the side. And this brings me nicely onto my last side hustle idea, which is to work as a website designer. Now, I actually learned how to design websites myself at the age of 11 when I was in year 6, and back then when I learned how to make websites, you had to learn how to code. So I spent a bunch of time as a 11-year-old learning how to work with HTML, but thankfully technology has moved on since then, and now you don't actually need to learn how to code to learn to make a website at all. So for example, my own website, kenji2meter.co.uk, I made that completely with no use of code. I use a website like Wix to actually help me to very easily and very quickly make a website. And I'll leave my website on the screen so you guys can check that out. This is a very good option, honestly. Every single company out there, every single individual like me, an influencer, YouTuber, pretty much everyone today needs a website and needs to market themselves. So there is plenty of work out there. It's really easy to learn. You can literally go onto Wix, play around yourself, make a website, for yourself, watch a few YouTube videos, have a good eye for design and things like that. And there, again, like I said, there is a big market for this skill. Learn how to do it in your free time, and you can easily find people to work with. Again, the way I would approach this is by directly, approaching people. Go onto YouTube. There'll be a bunch of people who you can, Google and see if they actually have a website. And if they don't, make them a very quick website and say, hey, I've made this basic website for you. Would you like me to publish it? And can I actually make it better? Would you be willing to hire me if I actually did a good job for it? Or you can go onto Upwork again, or Fiverr, and find jobs on there for people who want to actually produce websites. There is a huge marketplace on there. In terms of how easy it is to get started, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. You do have to put some effort into learning how to actually put the website together. You have to learn how to use Wix and all of these other websites out there. But honestly, it is not difficult at all. Like I said, I made mine very, very quickly. In terms of potential earning, I'll give that a 5 out of 5 because there is a huge amount of people that do want to actually make websites themselves but just can't. So this really is an attractive area. I also want to finish off this video by talking about just working a normal job as well as a side hustle. This is not talked about as a side hustle, but honestly, people should consider getting extra second or third jobs on the side to actually supplement their income. So you guys have probably seen that I work as a doctor on the side of my full-time job as a doctor. I work as a locum, and on my weekends and in my evenings, I pick up extra shifts at my hospital in order to actually get more money and boost my income. Now, if you're someone who doesn't necessarily have the capacity to work extra hours at their work, there are so many different areas where you can get extra jobs in. You can, for example, work a Deliveroo if you have a car or a motorbike or just a bicycle, and you can deliver food and earn money in your spare time. You can get a job just, again, working in retail, something that's considered a completely normal job. My point is there are a bunch of jobs that you can work in your spare time that is not associated to your main job that could be an additional income that you can work in your evenings or on your weekend. Now, I hope this video has helped you guys out in some way or form, and again, giving you some ideas about how you can earn money on the side as well as your full-time job or your work as a student. If it has done, please leave it a like, give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe with notifications on to never miss another upload. And before you leave, here are a bunch of videos on my channel that you may find interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.